think about this junk has
Hey, this is Glendon Cameron, and I'm here to discuss my road to passive income. I started this new channel because I started a new blog because I'm like freaking excited because this was an unintentional event. For probably the last 3.5 years, I've been making money online, actively, not passively. I've conducted webinars, conference calls, one-on-one personal consulting, and I've written several books. That has been the source of the income, but a few things happened along the way. There was a time that a good friend of mine, my business partner, who passed last year, I was able to help her, with her transition. And I didn't really work for 6 months, but my income kept coming in. And by no stretch of the imagination do I have the type of passive income where I could I'm going to retire and I'm not going to do anything else. It's not like that. But what's really curious about this is I wasn't trying to do it. It just happened. But it got me to thinking, what if I tried to do it? Because I'm an old school guy. I came from you buy stuff, you sell stuff, a different kind of business model. I've owned a few companies where at one point we were literally shipping furniture in from China and other places and reselling it. And the whole business model is you spend a lot of money. A lot of money. I remember being up to my eyeballs in debt every month because until the account receivables came in, I was broke and just seriously in debt. Then, people would pay, then money would go back out, and then what was left over was mine. But because the account receivables and the debt was so large that when the bills were paid, I was making more than an average income. But when you looked at the money that passed through my hands, it was scary. Because at any month, I could go out of business. That's how bad it was. And a lot of people are in that situation because, say they have 3 or 4 bad months, it's over. Well, with the new business models that are coming with the internet, you don't have these massive outlays of cash to make cash. And it's very, very exciting. But the thing is, because it's the internet, what you do, whether you want it to be or not, is very transparent. So if you're doing something that works, people will copy you. It's not something that's you think may happen. It's a matter of time if and when it will happen if what you're doing is successful. That's just how the internet rolls. Because people can peer behind the machinery, pull back the draperies, lift up your skirt. They can do all kinds of stuff and figure out what you're doing, which means you always have to do more. You always have to be in the creative mode. And that used to irk me, but now I look at it totally differently. Because really, there's nothing new under the sun. It's just that someone is doing it a little bit better or bringing a new perspective to it. And with that, the internet is full of opportunities. So on this channel, what I'm going to discuss is my journey. And I'll give you just a quick synopsis. July 17th at 15:15, that is 3:15 for non-military folks, I decided to become a writer because that's the cornerstone of everything I do. It generates from writing. And I wrote a book in 3 months, The Ultimate Guide to Self-Storage Auctions. I turned it into an ebook, and I also turned it into a print book. And I sold it on my blog. Made a lot of mistakes because I had never written a book before, and every mistake that you can say, I made it. And I'm going to tell you, if people tell you that if you write a book and you make mistakes that you'll never sell another book again, ignore them because you will. Because after that book, I wrote another one. And it wasn't as bad as the last one, the first one, but I could do better. So I wrote another one. And then I wrote another book, and it was essentially making money A to Z with self-storage and auctions. And there's 2 editions of that book, and it's selling very well. Then there's Pimping Craigslist for Fun and Profit. The Ultimate Garage Sale, the porn's always in the DVD player, and the Urban Pack Rat blog. And essentially, I put in hours and hours and hours of work. But because I put in all that work on the front end, and understand, anytime you're talking about passive income long term, there's going to be a massive amount of work on the front end. Understand that. And understand that the work you do today could potentially pay you tomorrow. You cannot look at it as, I worked on Monday, I need a check on Friday. That type of thinking will keep you poor, or it'll keep you on that treadmill. Because it's like, okay, what you're doing is trading time for money. You only have 24 hours in a day. So the best thing for you to do is create a business that leverages your time. Because right now, I'm making money while I talk to you. It may not be a earth-shattering amount of money, but it's passive income and it comes in. Currently, my passive income, what I call don't lift the finger type income, is $1,500 to $1,900 a month. To break that down, whether I do anything or not with those assets, they still throw off cash. But it goes up and down. It's never the same thing. Some months it's more than others, some months it crashes. But I don't have to do anything. That's exciting. Do something one time and get paid for it multiple times, even if you just did it for 6 months. And part of my passive income journey started in the storage auction business. I would buy a unit and I would sell the contents of this unit that I bought once, moved once, for months. I bought this unit that was so great. It was full of collectible crystal. 10 by 20, full from the ruler to the Tula. This crystal sold for anywhere from $5 to $20 a piece. There was thousands of pieces in that unit. We sold that stuff for about 2.5 years. The unit cost me $500. That stuff was selling every month. I kept track of it. It was about $300 to $500 every month in the store online for 2.5 years. That's kind of sort of, it kind of is not totally passive because it was a store that was cost, but there's other things. But essentially, that one purchase that was moved once, but continued to throw off cash for 2.5 years. And I call that short-term passive income. Because, you know, the thing is, when you say passive income, everyone is thinking trust fund baby income, that you've got this trust fund, and there's millions of dollars in there, and the dividends are enough for you to live this great and wonderful life without doing anything. Okay, that's called being wealthy. That's a totally different ball game. Totally different. What I'm talking about is the passive income that you can start to develop right now, today, and for 6 months to a year. Let's be real, 6 months to a year, and that's very quick for a business to start throwing off profitable cash. You know, a profit. That's very quick. Typically, most businesses take 2 to 5 years to get to a point where they're making a profit, and that's normal. That's not atypical. That's normal. But in this internet age, it's just like we can do it just like that, and it doesn't work that way. But if you're dedicated and you do the right things and you do your research, because everything online changes. You can expect it. You can set your watch to it. It's going to change at some point. Sometimes it's going to change so fast, your hat's going to come off. But even with that, that's exciting, and it gives you more opportunity. Because when it's changing, there are people who are not keeping up with the changes. They're not staying on top of it, and that's opportunity for you. So go ahead, check out the channel, see the things that, because the reason I decided to do the PassiveIncomeSensei.com blog is I'm still learning this. Like I said, I was just kind of making plans for 2013, looking at some financials, and it just kind of jumped up. There's like do nothing passive income that was coming in every month. And it started about 19 months ago. And I trended it, and it's been going up, but it's not been like jumping up. You know, it was like $400 for a while. Then it kind of moved to $500 and kind of stayed there. Then it moved to $600 and kind of stayed there. And it's just been incrementally going up, which is exciting because I'm not doing anything. And to test this theory, I did not advertise my books nor or put any videos, because a part of my passive income is AdSense income, because I'm a YouTube partner on one of my other channels, Glendon 007. I can't tell you how much I make because you're a partner and they like don't tell people, but I did not put up a video on that channel for 6 weeks and my AdSense income went up. There are several different factors to that, and I think part of that is because it's the holidays and advertisers are advertising very heavily. So I think that was part of it, and I benefited to the advertisers. I want to say thank you, I appreciate you. But during this journey, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and just kind of bring you along because I think it's going to be fun and I like it. And also, it gives me a chance to talk about other things that I've been interested about my whole life, like finances and investing. Like I think everyone should open up a Roth IRA. And not for the reason that you think, because most people do not know how to save money. And if you can learn how to save money, you will put yourself in the top 5% of the people in this country, because regardless of how much money you make, you'll be okay. All right, this is Glendon, and I'll see you in the next video. To learn more about passive income, my journey, please subscribe. 1, 2, 3. To learn more about my blog, my journey, please subscribe to PassiveIncomeSensei.com. The link's below. There's a lot of great stuff there, and we'll be talking about entrepreneurship,